Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name is Jason Newland, and this is La 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 La. It's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Q&A Friday. Yes. Hello. Hello. Right, I'm just looking at another comment that Sebastian Knickers has just posted of a lady sticking her tongue out at me, so I don't quite know what that's about. What is it? Very relaxing. Oh yeah, it made a comment on my number 221, very relaxing, relax and sleep hypnosis daily, which was yesterday. Says very relaxing. Starts with an ad of a guy hysterically screaming into my ears, and I said, "Well, thanks, glad you liked it." And he sticks his tongue out. Another comment I got was, your voice equals bedtime equals perfect, from Ken. Thank you, Ken. If there are adverts at the beginning of the podcast, it's literally just at the beginning. There's there's never any adverts in the middle. There shouldn't be any adverts in the middle or podcasts or of the videos. I do my very best to make sure that never happens. There was a time when I couldn't control it with YouTube, but now I can, I think. Right. Let's have a look at the stats. I don't get it. You know what? Sometimes I think that people are only interested in the latest recordings. I mean, really, today, yesterday, the day before, good stats. But I did like a couple of recordings. Today I haven't done anything. It's now nearly 7 o'clock. And it's just a very slow day. That's weird. I don't know. I guess it don't really matter. I'm not sure if I said it already, but please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. My website, jasonnewland.com, that is my podcast. That's my main, the home of my podcast, really. All of my recordings are on there. Every time I make a new recording, it is updated on there. And you can download, you can stream, it gives you the length, even gives you the size of the MP3 if you was going to download it. For example, if you did the one without music from yesterday, which was 1276, Let Me Bore You to Sleep, Steve Martin movies, from the 23rd of January 2025. An hour and 16 minutes and 55 seconds long, 35.21 megabytes. Let me download it. How long does it take to download? Hello. Oh, no, that didn't do it. Okay. The screen comes up and then I can just click on download. So click on download. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's downloaded. So it doesn't take long to download. But for some reason it opened up, but then it gives you an option, just a check down box. But I think it's different on the phone though. Might be wrong. No, I was wrong once. 1989 I was wrong. I think it was about November time. Yeah, I vaguely remember it. Let's have a look. Anything on the... Oh yeah, I've got a Facebook group called Jason Newland's Boring Group. And it's a good place to join. I don't know. It is where I post my questions for the coming week's Q&A Friday. So I posted, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, any questions for Friday, 24th of January 2025 Q&A Friday. So I've got a few questions, and there's been a few comments on the questions as well, which makes it confusing for me to try and figure out what's what. Doesn't take a lot to confuse me. Right. Anything else I need to tell you? Oh, I do have a YouTube channel at Jason Newland. It's weird. I mean, it's not weird. Is it weird? It's weird. It's weird to me. I've been doing this for so long and I still can't really figure it out. So I've been making, a long time. The stats have gone up on the YouTube channel. I mean, I guess it's simply because I've been making more recordings. But sometimes I just get nothing on a video. So I release the video. Generally, what I do is I do two versions, one normal length and one 10 hours. And it's just an image and then 10 seconds and then it's just a dark screen. So for example, yesterday's recording, or yesterday I actually made, what did I do yesterday? 22nd, 23rd, I did 2 recordings yesterday. Yeah, very relaxed, which was Relax and Sleep Hypnosis Daily, number 221. And I did the Steve Martin movies one. So it's just, it says 5 and 10 hours. There's just a normal length and 10 hours of each one. The day before, I did this. I think I did 3. Did I do 3 recordings? Yeah, did 3 recordings. Observe Your Mind, Deep Sleep Whisper. Feeling Safe, which was a relaxation for stress. And I did the Let Me Bore You to Sleep, called Podcast Titles. Now the 10-hour Feeling Safe has had more than quite a few clicks, and the Observe Your Mind 10 hours has had quite a few clicks or watches. And then 10 hours Podcast Titles, Let Me Bore You to Sleep, 1 view. 1. It's like I can't figure it out. So I'm now at 1,430 subscribers, and the views isn't a lot. I'm getting, the last 28 days I've had 2,132 views of my YouTube videos, but there have been 893.3 hours. So I think the hours is a fair amount. I don't know what that works out at. Should we work it out? Let's work it out. Confirm. I won't confirm anything with a calculator. Just let me calculate. Never just had that problem with a little calculator pen at school. 893. Oh, okay, right. Okay, 893 divided by 28. So that's 1 hour a day. It doesn't sound right, does it? Doesn't sound right at all. 893.3 divided by 28. 2 hours a day. So 893 divided by 28 is 1. Ah, fair enough. Something's gone wrong, hasn't it? 893 divided, not times, divided by 28. 1.89. Alright, so if we go 28 times by 10 hours, 280. So that, how does that work? So 10 hours a day. So 10 hours people are watching my videos for at least 10 hours a day. It's 280 hours, but I've actually got 893 hours. How does that work? Or I should do it the other way around, should I? 28 divided by 893 is 0.033. The calculator's not working, is it? I'm doing divided. It's not times, is it? 893 divided by 10 equals 89, which is right, 89 hours a day. So 893 divided by 20 days, is 44 hours a day. So 893 divided by 28 is 1.89. Oh, it's 31.89. Oh, blimey. Fair enough. That's a little bit slow of me, wasn't it? I mean, I could have worked it out myself in that time. I just didn't want to. So nearly 32 hours a day, 32 hours of video a day is being watched on my YouTube channel, and it's a tiny channel. So even though I'm getting very small figures, quite a bit of time is being spent watching, really, if you think about it. I don't know. Should we have a look at the stats? No! Answer the questions, monkey boy! No, I want to look at the stats. Audience. My audience. None of it's particularly... What does it say? Overcoming fear with hypnosis. Key moments for audience retention. Latest videos last 365 days. Okay. Still watching at 30 seconds. Overcoming fear with hypnosis. 112% of people are still watching after 30 seconds. A break from seriousness, which was 217. Relax and sleep hypnosis daily. 103% are still watching after 30 seconds. Q&A Friday, let me bore you to sleep. 103%. I don't know what date. I didn't have the date in that title. Perhaps I should get rid of the dates in the titles. I don't know. And then 10. Those are just no, they probably are 10 hours. 10 hours, 1,206. Let me bore you to sleep. Healing Thursday, 101% is watching over 30 seconds. And then hypnosis for election anxiety, 99%. I wonder, I'm sure it says what the percentage is of audience. Let's have a look at the audience. The audience. Unique viewers, 1 point. You know what? It doesn't say much about my returning viewers. I've only got 193 returning viewers. 1.1 thousand unique viewers are watching my videos in the last 28 days, which means people ain't coming back. Ooh, I know I shouldn't laugh at that, but returning viewers, that's only for the previous 2 days post. Oh no, it's not. Returning views 20 compared to 170 new viewers. I don't know what to make of that. Do you? That my stuff is rubbish, maybe? Oh. Here's a quick stats. Someone said this, about YouTube. Oh, your video, you're just aiming at men, aren't you? Middle-aged men sitting in their little bedrooms. Ooh. Like, there's someone actually posted that on... I don't know. I'm not sure where they posted it. They like little comments somewhere. And yes, that is my answer. That's the exact audience I've been aiming for. Ever since I started this when I was about 12, I thought, you know what? I want to cater for middle-aged men sitting in their bedrooms. By the way, I don't care how old someone is, or whether they're male or female, or whether they're sitting in their bedroom, or on the balcony of their mansion. It makes no difference to me. I'm here for everybody that's willing to put up with me. According to this, it's ironic because it's now going to confirm what that comment said. It's not. Female percentage, according to YouTube, who listen to me or watch my videos, 35.3%. Male is 64.7%. That's the YouTube. 13 to 17 years, 0. 18 to 24 years, 25.2%. 25 to 34 years, 44.5%. 35 to 44 years, 30.3%. And the rest is just nothing. There's no one listening. So no one above 44 years listens to me or watches me on YouTube, and no one below 18 watches me on YouTube or watches my videos. So it's very specific. But that's over. If I go for lifetime rather than the last 6 years, what is it? The last 6 years. Oh, that's sad. I used to get people... Well, it's got the 18 to 24 has definitely gone up. But the 65 plus years, it used to be 2.5% viewers, 2.5% female, 3.4% male views in those age brackets. And they're not listening anymore. Oh. The 55 to 64 year olds, it used to be 3.7% female, 3.5% male. And they're not listening anymore. Well, according to now. So, male, 13 to 17 year olds, 0.1% used to listen. And overall, it's 58.2% males for the last 6 years. 39.4% female. 18 to 24 years, 9.2% female, 12.4% male, 11.9% female between 25 and 34, 17.2% male. So let's have a look. If I just go back to the last 28 days. So, yeah, it's, this is interesting. The watch time. So you got the views, then you got watch time. So these are people who actually watch the whole video or listen to it. So although 18 to 24 year olds, females 8.4%, 16.8% of this is like throughout the whole, all of the age groups. So 16.8% of males watch my videos. 8.4% are in the age group of 18 to 24. Females watch. But the ones that actually... Okay, say I'll just go... Yeah, sorry, no, that's... So for that age group, not a huge percentage listen. That's watch hours. Okay. But for the age group of 25 to 34, 60%, 60.6% female compared to 11.5% male actually have the watch hours. So even though there's more males viewing my videos, the percentage instead of being 35.3% female to 64.7% male, which is for views, the actual watch time in hours for female is 65.9% compared to 34.1% for males. Make that what you want, I don't know. I'm not sure what that really means, but it's well, it just means that according to this, female watchers of YouTube are actually watching. But anyway, I've got a YouTube channel. That's all I was trying to say, is I've got a YouTube channel. Why do you keep asking me about stats? Oh, stats. That reminds me. What is my overall stats since I've had the channel? It's probably about 30,000 or something. It's honestly something ridiculous. Oops, something. No, stop it. Something went wrong. Overview. Just overview. Right. Bearing in mind that I've never really promoted it, the channel, and I've only had one good day the whole time I've had the channel. One really good day, and that was in May last year, I think. May last year. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. May last year. 22nd of May last year. 1,065 video views. No, go back. May 23rd. 1,659. So that's the best day I ever had on my YouTube channel since it started on the 15th of March 2018. And you know, there's been days when I got 15 views, 3.3 views. Oh, these are watch hours, not views. Blimey, 1,000 watch hours in one day, that's quite a lot. So views, right, you know, it started off at 2 views, went up, and I was in the 20s, 30s, 40s. It's gone up to 70s, then down to 20s, 30s, and then 2022 it went up 500, then it's down to 70s, 80s, 300, 200, whatever. Last year I still had some really slow days, but then it was going up more in like the hundreds, occasionally getting 20, 200, 300, and this year it seems to be a bit more steady, but still not. Yeah, still slow. It's still slow. That is the bottom line. YouTube is slow. My YouTube audience is slow. No, not my audience, but the you know, the growth. But it's okay. Obviously, it's not okay because I'm mentioning it. I mean, it's quite enough. I've got 880. What is he doing? He's very a little bit on edge today, Vinny is. It's a little bit chilly in here, and I don't know why. What do you want, Vinny? Why are you moaning? Just calm down, baby. Calm down. Just enjoy the moment. Enjoy being here with your daddy and all the wonderful times ahead. Come on, come on. Chill out, man. So in that time, I've only had 180,000 views, 39.2 thousand watch hours. So 39,000 is being very strange. 39,000, considering I've got nearly 1,000 in the last month. So it took me 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Took me sort of 6-7 years to get to this point. So yeah, it's growing, but slowly. I'll stop talking about my YouTube channel now. Can you hear all the people clapping? I was going to say crowding, that's all. He can't stop eating. I think he might have that thing. Greed. That's what it's called. A greedy belly. So Barry asks me, think you've been asked already, but what's the best advice you've been given but never took it on board until it was too late? Thanks. I'm not sure if I have asked that. I'd say some of the advice I got when I was a kid, and I don't think it was unusual advice. I think it's the same advice or the same stuff that all older people blurt out to young kids. And I don't think this is a guess, but I don't think any kids take it on board or believe it or care. And things like take care of yourself, enjoy being young, enjoy having physical flexibility or physical, not that people would go that deep. You have flexibility at the moment, young man, you should really enjoy it. I don't mean like that, but the warnings, like, well, when you get older, your body, you won't be able to do the things you can do now, and I didn't believe that. But it's weird because all the evidence is there, isn't it? All the evidence is visually around us when we're kids. You've got assortment of people you've got physically well people, you've got people that have got wheelchairs, walking sticks. So, you've got really elderly people, and it's, by the way, elderly is like much older than just elderly. According to Sebastian, I'm elderly at my young age. Thanks. I think those things. It could be a bunch of things. It's like, the problem is, I think, and I want to say when I'm a kid, I'm probably thinking when I was a kid, but also when I was like a teenager, just going out to work for the first time, the amount of condescension that I had to endure from people that were probably only 20 years older than me, maybe 30 years older than me, thinking that they knew everything, and they did know a lot more than me, but also I knew a lot more than them about certain things. But there was a lot of... Okay, here's a bit of advice. My step-grandmother, I did visit her actually, even though they all moved to Dover, but I visited once and I went and saw her. This is the only time I saw her since 87. And she was in a home at this point, I think, or she was somewhere anyway. She was living somewhere, and she was not doing so well with her eyesight and everything. And she said to me, "Take your fingers out of my purse. I can hear what you're doing. Stop stealing off me." And that stayed with me, and I thought, you know what, yeah, perhaps I shouldn't steal. No. She said, save money. Save your money. put money aside every week because you're going to need it one day. Put something aside for the future. And I never did. And yeah, that was a bit of advice that was worth taking. The only thing I didn't like about that advice is I didn't have any money. And I was earning nothing. I mean, literally, I didn't have anything. I couldn't so that annoyed me more than anything else. The lack of reality, or the lack of her understanding of my reality. But then what was my understanding of her reality? No, not really much there either. So I don't think we really connected on that level. But she was correct, I do believe, to put some money aside. Doesn't have to be a lot of money, just a few quid. I mean, some religions do a percentage, don't they? So put a percentage of your earnings in the bank. I think with Hinduism, it's a percentage you give away to charity or for good deeds and stuff, for good causes. So maybe, yeah, I could have benefited from that. Although I did once set up a bank, with a bank to take out £400 a month from my wages, from my bank, and put it into a savings account. And then I think 2 weeks later I wasn't working there anymore, so that didn't quite work. But that was what, £400 a month. That's £5,000 a year. If I could have done that and saved that for a few years, but yeah, it didn't quite work out, which is fine. It's fine. Another bit of advice I got from my dad years. This is like when I was a kid as well, or when I was just left school, or later teens. Vinny, he's getting ridiculous with his moaning. He was moaning and whining. Vinny was. So I had to take him out for a walk. He did need the toilet, but I think he was just bored. I mean, he went to the toilet. I've never taken him out where he didn't need to do a wee. I mean, he's always got some wee there. Lots of I think he's got about 15 different bladders, because he's just constantly got an endless supply of wee to spray on a lamppost or someone's recycling bin, if he can. I don't let him do that, but he tries to. His little recycling, little recycling things for food and for bottles and stuff. And people carry them and put them in, take them back into their house, and he tries to wee on them. I stop him. Apart from that one neighbour that I don't get on with. No, I'm joking. Don't like any of them. So, what was I going to say? What other advice did I get? Yeah, so I got that advice. My dad gave me some advice when I was probably when I just left school, or, around about the 17, 18 years of age. And he gave me the same advice for years. Get on a council list. The waiting list for a council flat. And I did a couple of times, and then I just let it, I was to be fair, back then I probably was in quite a good position when I was 16, 17. But as I got older, I wouldn't, it would take a long, long time to get to the front of the queue. Especially once I'd moved to London. I mean, it didn't seem like it was a possibility at all to get social housing. So I never bothered with it. The fact is, or the possibility is, that actually I might have got, because I was there long enough in London, even if it had taken 10 years, I might have got my own council place, which means I wouldn't have had to move out. Wouldn't have had to move out of London, because I could have afforded to stay. Because one of the biggest issues with being in London was the cost. And although I didn't move out because of the cost, I moved to be close to my nan. The way things went in London, I would have been pushed out, because I wouldn't have been able to afford to still be living there. But yeah, well, so I didn't take his advice on that until much later in my life. And yeah, so it still took a few years, but I did eventually go onto the waiting list for the council, waiting list for council property or social housing. And yeah, I did eventually I got this flat. But that's after 30 odd years of living in little rooms and horrible places. So he had some good advice, I just didn't take it. And I think the reason I didn't take it is because it was coming from him. And I don't mean that in a horrible way. It's just, I was young, probably arrogant, thought I know, what does he know? He's only a grown man that's owned 2 houses or 3 houses already. What does he know? He knew quite a bit. But I think partly it's because I didn't know where I was going to be. I didn't know where I was going to be living. I still don't, really. I wasn't settled. So even if I had been given a flat in Stratford, for example, where I was living, would I want to still be living there? I don't know. Lots of questions. I'm trying to think of any other bits of advice I was given. My nan gave me some good advice in 2004. She said to me, because this is my year of sobriety. And it sounds terrible when I say it like that. You mean you've only gone 1 year without alcohol? No, it just at the time I was going through some stuff, and I stopped drinking alcohol for a whole year. I was vegetarian for a whole year. I lost loads of weight, exercised, got fit. And that wasn't the reason I gave up alcohol, but that was during my panic time, my panic attacks and stuff were just absolutely awful. It ruled my life for a while, for a couple of years. And my nan said to me, because I was still young, I was still 33, so I was still young enough to. I didn't have a social life anymore, because once I left my job, the social life went, because my social life at the time was very much connected with the people I worked with. We'd go out after work and meet up at the weekend and stuff. After I left there, my social life involved going to the Buddhist centre and meditating. Yeah, so it's not a bad way to spend my time, but it wasn't going to wasn't going to empty me. No, it wasn't going to. It wasn't quite the same. It wasn't a place I went to meet somebody, to have a relationship with. And my nan said to me, just because you're not drinking doesn't mean you can't still go out. Because if you don't go out, you're never going to meet anyone. I think she really wanted me to settle down. Well, I know she did, because she told me. She wanted me to meet someone, settle down. I don't think she was too bothered about whether I had kids or not. I don't think that really concerned her. I mean, she had grandkids. That's something that she did want. Well, that she loved having grandkids. because all of her kids, all of except one didn't, but all the other kids did. And she'd have loved it if I'd have given her great grandkids. But she already had loads of great grandkids, and great 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 grandkids, and great great great. I guess now, some that she never got to meet. But and she was kind as well, because my cousin came round, and my nan was like, even though, she said, oh, it's my favourite grandson and stuff, but she was very, when she was in the hospital and stuff, to the nurses, but the fact she loved all her grandkids, she loved all her family, and very family orientated. I mean, I'll give you an example of how she's very much she cared regardless, my auntie, my cousin rather, who is her daughter's daughter. That makes sense? So her daughter's daughter came along with her daughter, so which would be her great granddaughter. And she still had love for her, and she was a ginger. And she still cared. So it just showed. It's a joke, blimey. The ginger gene is very strong in my family. Very strong. I think at least 2 of my nan's siblings were ginger, and at least 3 of my cousins have got ginger kids that I know of. So it's a very strong gene. It missed me, apart from I was partially ginger. Like my beard was gingery, very gingery beard, but it was a mixture of dark hair, so I wasn't such an outcast. I like ginger hair, I always have. But I had like a gingery beard, especially around the chin area, and I had ginger in my hair as well, and that's the part that went grey first. Which is weird, because I know a lot of ginger people that don't seem to go grey. Well, they do, but, mind you, I suppose if all your hair's ginger, it can't just all go grey at the same time, can it? So maybe it just waits. It's a more of a phase out period, rather than with me, it was just like suddenly all the gingers went grey. Maybe they were ostracised by all the dark hairs, or maybe they were just impatient. I don't know. Maybe they're just getting together as a group, Strength in crowds. I don't know. I don't know what it was. Anyway, the gingers went grey first. The rest is surely following. Oh, yes. And downstairs as well, there's definitely gingery stuff going on down there. So yeah, it's a weird one. Maybe that's why I liked, I had a few ginger girlfriends in the past, so maybe that's why. Because I suppose I'm a bit more tolerant. Oh, joking. It's weird. I've known a few. I haven't known many ginger men, actually. I know a couple, not many, but I've known quite a few women over the years. I've known 2 women. One of them was ginger, so yeah, 50% of the women I've ever known or met. I'm trying to think what other advice I was given, but never took it on board until it was too late. Save money. Look after your health. I think the old one, and it's something that I find myself telling people now, is time will speed up when you get older. Don't waste time now. Not completely waste it. You got to waste some time, but just remember time, it speeds up as you get older. And I was told that, and I thought, BS, I can smell BS. But it is, I mean, technically it's not true, but it is true. I mean, scientifically it's kind of not true, because time is time, but it is true. But that might be more to do with what we're doing. I'm pretty sure if you put me in a classroom, in a maths classroom or geography classroom, for a double session, so what's that, 90 minutes of sitting there at a desk, bored out of my mind, staring out the window with a clock above the blackboard, which they always used to me a clock so you could stare at the clock for some reason. That's not fair. A teacher with very little interest of what was going on for 90 minutes, just watching that second hand go round so very slowly. I'm pretty sure that time would go very slowly for me as well, even at this age. You know, I think there's, you know, that whole kind of being a kid, a lot of time it's waiting for school to end, waiting for the summer holidays to come, waiting to be allowed to be excused from the dinner table so you can go and play with your friends or go and watch TV, or waiting for your favourite television show to be on TV, or waiting to finally be able to stay up until 9 o'clock in the evening, or, you know, there's always things waiting. I found when I was younger, when I was a kid, not when I was obviously when I was older, I didn't have to wait to be able to stay up late. Although now I like to go to bed early. Yeah. So if at this point in my life all I was doing was something that I didn't want to do, and it was extremely unpleasantly tedious, then I'm pretty sure the day would not shoot by. The hours would not go by quickly. It would be very slow. But you know, even when I was younger, New Year's would come. It's like, wow. Or Christmas would be coming up. That's gone quick. No matter how slow the years goes, how slow time goes, no matter what happens, Christmas or New Year's or birthday or whatever always seems to come around again. Like, well, hopefully it always comes around again, but quickly. Like, I remember when it was Christmas last time. I remember when it was my birthday last time. Last year when I turned 35. So yeah, the whole kind of time seems to speed up with age. Trying to think of what other things. I mean, a lot of this, it wasn't that I didn't. Well, I did take it on board. I just didn't. I listened to it, but I just didn't care. Back then, I didn't care. You know, I didn't. I was just living one day to the next. Especially during my teen years and even a lot of my 20s, probably most of my 20s really. One day to the next, most of my 30s maybe, up to, I would argue that I didn't really start living. I didn't really have a purpose. I did, but I didn't until I started doing this stuff in 1935. Yeah. No, not 1935. 2005 when I was 35. No, 2006. 2006. So until I started doing that, there was things I was interested in. There was things I was doing, but I didn't really feel as though I was accomplishing anything of any worth. Some would argue I'm still not, but hey. And you know what? And it's coming up to 20 years. Next year, it's 19 years now since I've been doing these recordings, making videos, making recordings. 19 years. It doesn't feel like just a couple of years. It feels like a long time. You know, if I think back really to those times when I was living in that room with the Buddhists, sitting at my desk with my black and white camera, filming me. That sounded wrong. And with all my books in the background, my bookcase, not knowing what I was going to say, not knowing, well, okay, not a lot's changed there, I suppose, but I felt like I had the knowledge. I felt like I knew from all those books that I'd studied that I knew a bit, I knew something. And out of that muddle in my brain of all that information, that maybe I could come up with something that would be useful. Because that's all I've tried to be. Useful. To contribute. And to make a difference. But to be useful, have something that's useful. If it's not useful, and that's my motto. Well, it's not my motto. My motto today, if it's not useful, then don't use it. If it's useful, then do. And that's my... I mean, there probably was times when I first started out that I wanted to change the world. I want to be the most successful hypnotist on the planet, and I want to reach the largest audience, and I want to help the most amount of people. Things like that. But as time goes by, I mean, in some ways, I possibly reached more people than I thought I would when I first started. I didn't realise I'd eventually be able to reach millions of people over the years. I didn't know that, but I guess I was just thinking like in a regular daily basis, and I'll reach a few thousand people. I don't over a week. I don't know. Over a week, it's hard to work it out. Or over the week, over the last 7 days. Over the last 7 days. 7 days. So on Spreaker, on the last 7 days, I've had 10,367 downloads, which is not a huge amount. How many of those people come back? I don't know. Because on Spreaker, since 2018, I've got 15,053,798 downloads total. But I've also got got quite a few others on other podcast hosts as well. But advice, that's going to get my little brain thinking. There probably is some other advice that I didn't take. I'm sure someone said to me, I think it was, what's his name? He said to me, it might not be in him, but if you set out, especially when you're young, you set out with a target. You know, you want to become really successful at something. There are so many distractions, and it can be easily done to meet somebody, get into a relationship, and then be distracted from the goal. So, for example, I wanted to be a successful comedian. Now, I can't blame being distracted by anyone for that not happening. I just wasn't good enough. But I can see how I was getting distracted, and I was, I'd get a job and I wasn't able to do anything in the evenings. With the karate, I was doing that when I left school, and I stopped because I got a job where I was working evenings, so I wasn't able to get out and train. So I stopped doing something that I loved doing because of some little job that in the end worked out as being a very meaningless thing. So yeah, I think I was living so short term back then. I couldn't see any further than my own concerns, my own neurosis, anxiety, whatever, my worries. So it was a bit too much catastrophizing going on with me. Vinny's just done a massive fart. One of us has just done a massive fart. I didn't feel it coming out. I didn't hear it, so it must be him. So the next one is Michelle. You made a comment one night about a garden shed in your bedroom. Please explain. Right, Michelle, I put a garden shed in my bedroom. What's unusual about that? I had this idea that I wanted to... This is before I got any... Or is it? Oh. No, but... Yeah, this is before I got decent microphones. And every little sound would be picked up. And it was annoying me. People were complaining, the audience were complaining about hearing birds in the background when I was making recordings. And sorry, but that's what happens. There's birds in the background. I can't control the background sound. I had soundproofing in the room, and I still do in my living room. I'd close the windows, but there's limited. I'm limited. I was limited to what could be heard, and I thought I need a recording studio, but I didn't have the money to buy because you can buy these like porta cabin things. They're not huge. They would fit. They'd probably take up about a quarter of this room if I got one. But they're pretty soundproof. Not soundproof completely, but they're pretty good. I think they definitely would have blocked out the birds, because it's just another wall surrounding you and some soundproofing, but they were expensive. So I thought what I would do is I'd make my own from a shed. Now, I don't remember where I bought the shed. Can you hear that? Even stuff like that. Can you hear that? Every day, in the evening, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't know. And it starts Vinny off. especially when I've got no music or got no TV on, he gets distracted by it. And the windows aren't even open. Well, it might be open a little bit, but they're not open like fully. I think one's on the latch. I like to have air coming in. Okay, they're all fully open. I suppose if I closed them I wouldn't hear her. And sometimes I take the roof off just to get a bit more air. I don't. Yeah, so I thought I know what I'll do, I'll buy a shed. I wonder if I can find it. I reckon I probably bought it on Amazon. Let me have a look, see if it's on there. It looks like something I'd buy from Amazon, unless it was from either Amazon or Argos. So I look at returns and orders, search all orders, shed. That's very weird. Shed. Let's search, see if there's a shed anywhere. No, there isn't. Orders. All orders past 3 months. Archived orders. Right, here we go. Maybe I can find it there. My iPad is just flashing. There's no reason for that. I might have to turn it off. Archived orders. No archived orders. View all orders. Right. All orders by year. So this is probably 2000 and I'm going to say 2018. Blimey, it's really not. I think it is on here because I think I've seen it before. I think it is on here. Shed. I also ordered Moby Dick. I thought I ordered Moby Dick a lot sooner than that. That was an Audible. Lavia. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a Lavia microphone. I can't, it's flashing, it's actually doing my head in. Right, it's not good for my eyes, that. I think it needs to be turned off and turned on again, which is what I'm doing. I think it was around 2018 time. And put it up. Well, I got someone to help me put it up. I fitted it out with soundproofing. And it took up about it took up about a third of my bedroom. It wasn't, I mean, you couldn't fit 3 in there. You'd have to kind of break it into bits to fit 3 in there, if you know what I mean, because it took up, you could probably fit 2 against the window, not against the window, had to, but 2, but then there'd be enough room for, probably went up to about 3/4 of my bed length left. So, you know, there was still room. I could have had 2 of them in my bedroom and still had room to manoeuvre, but perhaps fitted a single bed in there. It wasn't a big shed. Stop the moaning, please, Vinny. Please. Good boy. Good boy. And so I put it in there, put the soundproofing in. I put a chair in there. I had a desk in there, like a little table. And I tried to set up the recording equipment. And it definitely did have a quieter sound. There's definitely a quieter sound, you know, from being in here. But one of the problems, there was 2 problems. One, it was really hot. It was really hot. Now I had this in the summer, but even in the winter it was hot. So in the winter the radiators were on, so it was hot. In the summer, I don't even know how it got so hot in there, but it was really hot. So I had to sit in there naked, try and get that visual out of your head. I mean, I was literally sitting in there just with my underpants on and no top, or some shorts on and no top. And it was still so hot. I even thought about getting some ice. You know those... In fact, I might have got some. Yeah, some of those ice packs. You know, you put into, like, picnic bags. And you go out for the day and you put an ice pack in the bottom to keep everything cool. I think I got some of them and put them underneath the chair. And I started thinking, why am I going to this much trouble? It's taken me like an hour to set up just to make a recording. And then I couldn't sit in there for an hour because I was just dripping with sweat. It was awful. And didn't feel like there was any air. I couldn't have the window open in the bedroom because that would defeat the whole object of trying to be quiet. A little bit like this one down here, chewing on a bone when I'm trying to do a recording, or occasionally going, whoof, whoof. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, you don't you? And I tried it out for a while. And another thing is it creaked. And you might be thinking, yeah, it's because I needed to lose weight. Yeah, maybe. And maybe try and, don't sit on the roof. I wasn't sitting on the roof, that's just rude. Don't lean against it. No, that's rude again. That's not why it creaked. I just sat in there and it creaked. And I don't know much about wooden huts or sheds. And maybe all sheds creak. But it was noisier than the birds. Although, personally, I love the sounds of birds. But so instead of the birds, I think someone commented, I'm so glad that you've no longer got the birds in the background, but is there any chance you can do something about that squeaking and that creaking? It sounds like you're in some kind of shed in your bedroom. And I thought, good one. So yeah, and then in the end, I had it for about 2 years in there, maybe longer. Andre used it as his personal play place, really. He had his toys in there and he used to play in there. So it was his room, really. And eventually I used to like hiding underneath there so I couldn't get to him. Bless him. And eventually I thought, I want my bedroom back. So I got rid of it. I dismantled it myself, actually. And I found a recording. Wow. I can tell you when it was because I've actually got a recording on... Where is it? Right, let me see. Shed. I'm just going to put in shed in the podcast and my name. Nope. Nothing. Nothing? Okay. Let me bore you to sleep. Well, that's weird. Nothing's coming up. It's like it's not even working.
Hello and welcome to...
Well, something started. That was strange. Why is that? So if I put in let me bore you to sleep, nothing's coming up in the search box. How unusual. Right, and now it's just deleted everything that I just wrote in there. Shed. Jason. Let me bore... Nope. Shed, Jason Newland. Podcast back to normal. Nope. Q&A. Nope. Shed. I'm sure I used to look younger. Not that one. BBC News. Nope. I only attract 90-year-olds. Nope. 365 fairies necklaces. Nope. I've lost 1 stone. Nope. This is also available on video. Nope. Family tree. The kitten puppy stress and pain relief technique. I don't know what that was. Nope. Balls of fire. The iceberg. Slumber waves. Deep sleep. Blip. Deep. No. I'm sure I put the shed is gone. Shed is gone. Shed is gone. Okay, what about shed roof? Shed roof. Roof, not roof. Roof. I took the roof off the 14th of November 2020. Number 542, let me bore you to sleep. I took the roof off. So this is me talking about taking the roof off of my shed. So 14th of November 2020. So it was on there for a few years actually. It was in there for a few years. I wonder if I ever got bedroom shed. I wonder if I put in, because that does sound like something I would mention. Bedroom shed. Nope. Bedroom. No. Podcasts. It does sound, doesn't it? It doesn't sound like something I talk about. Well, I wouldn't. What's the chances of me putting a shed in my bedroom and not mentioning it? I think it's pretty much very unlikely that I wouldn't make a recording about something as exciting as that, when you consider some of the things I've talked about. Right, I keep pressing the play button by accident. Nope. I can't find anything. Never mind. So yeah, that's kind of the story really about the shed. I had to get rid of it in the end. It was taking up too much space and it didn't work out. It was too hot, and whatever reduction in, or whatever sound quality, improvement in sound quality I gained was kind of taken away from the squeaking and the creaking. I found out later it was just my knees. Sarah asks, do you believe in ghosts? I don't have really any belief in stuff like that. I don't like have anything of particular. I've never really had much interest in stuff like that. That's not true. I did used to be interested when I was at school. Went through a period of very interest in the paranormal. But I think my interest was more in vampires and werewolves and stuff like that, and witchcraft and things. I got quite into that stuff when I was about 14, 13, 14, something like that. 12, 13, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of the days, of the years and stuff. But as far as ghosts go, I don't know, because I just know the brain is such a weird thing. If, you know, and there's so many, it's a hard thing. I don't know. I really don't. I have no, because, you know, I was a little picture of a ghost. Oh, I don't really have much in the way of beliefs, really, in stuff. Like with things like UFOs, why the government's decided to call them IDFs or whatever they got a different term now. I don't know. I think it's because they wanted people to stop saying UFOs. But for me, that seems logical, that they're, you know, the idea that we're the only, if there's billions and billions and billions and billions of planets out there, that we're the only planet with life, which, you know, this kind of life, this kind of intelligence or whatever. It just doesn't seem logical to me. And they've already proven that. I mean, technically, everything is life, isn't it? So the sun is alive. The moon is alive. You know, everything is alive. So, from that perspective, but then it does make me wonder. You know, I've often thought, like, okay, what happens then? So, what happens to this version of me? This version that thinks I know stuff, thinks that I'm aware of stuff. What happens to that? And I don't know. Don't have an answer. I really don't. But as far as experiences, I haven't really. I had a weird experience when I was, I think when I was a teenager. There was a weird experience, but that was... We lived in a very spooky house when I was a teenager. Big, just this big house that was just a little bit... I lived right at the top. When there was no one in the house, it didn't feel quite right. Because there was a lot of us, there was 6 people living there at the height of the family, then it was a busy house. But once there was like if there was only one person there, it felt a little bit eerie to me. I didn't like it, especially at night. But yeah, no, I don't really have any really beliefs in that either way, really. Ing asks me, does Vinny know commands like hear or sit? Can you let him run in the park without unleash? No. Well, yes, and no. He knows the commands, he ignores them. And he doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do. And I can't let him off the lead anymore because he doesn't listen to me. As simple as that. He does not listen. He loves running around. But unfortunately, there are too many big, scary dogs around here. More and more. Who he will run up to. And unfortunately, it might not end well, so I have to, and that's the only thing. He's not a threat to anyone. He gets overexcited sometimes, so it can seem like he's being a little bit threatening, but he's not. He's just overexcited. He just wants to say hello to everyone. But yeah, he can't be off the lead. Can't allow it anymore, which is a shame because I think that's when he's happiest, running around with another little dog. But there's now a few dogs that really look like they're trying to get to him, and I don't like that. Doesn't sit well with me, and I can't quite understand why people have got dogs like that. I understand, it's not just a size thing. It's just like this is clearly really an aggressive animal. Why? Why hasn't it got a muzzle on? Because you stick a muzzle on a dog, and it's very limited to what it can do. I can stop a dog from trampling on Vinny. I can't. Trying to stop a dog from biting him is a different thing. Trample, I'm going to get scratched, but it's fine. I don't care about that. So I can stop a dog from trampling on him. and I'm not going to get too hurt in the process, hopefully. But this dog, I think it was an Alsatian or something, this big old thing. It was literally foaming at the mouth trying to get to us, and there was this lady like pulling him back, like, and it's a fully grown dog. It's not like it's a baby, fully grown, big dog. Like, what? I mean, I know some dogs will bark and they're just being friendly and playful. This was not being a playful dog. I could tell that. And Vinny didn't bark back. He was scared. It was so obvious that this dog did not mean kind thought. I didn't have kind thoughts towards us. And no muzzle. And I'm kind of like, why not have a muzzle on the dog? Because I did that with my friend's dog when I had him for 2 months. He was an absolute terror with other dogs. He didn't like other dogs. Didn't like, whether big or small, he didn't like them. Apart from Vinny, he liked Vinny. As soon as I put the muzzle on him, when I had him here for 2 months, I put a muzzle on him. He would be inches away from the smallest dog and he couldn't do a single thing. He hated it, but he couldn't do a single thing. He didn't like the muzzle. But I got him one they couldn't get off. It was not just... It was doubly attached, because also attached to the harness that he had. Like the body harness. So he couldn't get it off. And it calmed him right down, because he just had to accept his situation. I mean, there's another neighbour that takes a dog very similar to Logie. Doesn't put a muzzle on the dog. And the dog just wants to get at every dog that they can. And she's, or he or she, this person, is very sensitive to it and like shouts at people, keep your dog away. But actually, if you put a muzzle on your dog can't do anything. As long as he can't get the muzzle off. But he doesn't like a muzzle. No one likes a muzzle. No dogs like being muzzled. Get one that fits them. That's a start. You don't leave it on them for long periods of time, just for the walk, and then take it off when you get home. Make sure it fits, so it's not uncomfortable. It's not complicated. But yeah, he doesn't listen to a word I say. Vinny doesn't at all, which is a little bit annoying, because I don't want him to do tricks, although I'd quite like him to actually. But I'm not aiming for that, but just something, a little bit of I don't know, it's a bit embarrassing sometimes when he completely ignores me. Completely. There was one time he ran off. He was running out of the park towards the main road with another dog. He was following the other dog. And I shouted so loudly. Both the dogs stopped and ran back. And even a woman said thank you, because her dog had never done that before. Just run out of the park like that. And they came back and they were both like scared or whatever. Like, that wasn't the reason. I wasn't trying to make them scared. I just wanted them to hear me. I wanted him to hear me. I wasn't thinking about the other dog. Just him. In that moment, I was thinking of Vinny. And he came straight back to me. And I had an issue with him but I was too close to him. I just couldn't catch him. I couldn't get to him, as he was really causing a problem. And if I'd have shouted, he would have laid on his back. But because there was other kids, there was kids around, there was women, and there was I just didn't want to upset anyone or cause the kids to be upset. Because when I shout, I'm very loud. I've got a very loud shout. I think it just comes from having brothers. Sometimes you have to shout to be heard when you're little. And I got a soft voice, but when I shout, it's super loud. Like, really, I know it probably is for everyone. That's why it's called shouting, I guess. Maria, a few foodie questions for you. Marmite, love it or hate it? How dare you ask me about Marmite? Or how was that ever invented? Who came up with that? Creating something that tastes so awful. Didn't I earlier on I said I've got no what did I say earlier? I haven't really got any beliefs. Clearly when it comes to Marmite I have. Oh my goodness, no thanks. No thank you. No, never. I suppose, I don't know. Even if I was really hungry, I think even if I was really, really hungry and someone gave me a sandwich and I bit into it and it had Marmite in it, I would eat it because I had to. But I wouldn't forgive them. Never. It would be, because, if you're hungry, you've got to eat. And just, it doesn't, in a way, I mean, I feel the same way about peanut butter. Although, I kind of like the taste of peanut butter. But I don't like the look of it. I don't like the smell of it. The taste is okay, actually. But I don't like the look or no. So Marmite, no. I don't want to use that word because I think it's a strong word. Love. But no, I'm not a big fan of Marmite. Brussels sprouts. Now, here's where I go against society norms. I love Brussels sprouts. Now, I know a lot of people, I've not done a survey, but I would guess probably the majority of people don't seem to like Brussels sprouts, like it's some kind of a punishment or something. But they are among probably my favourite vegetables. Cabbage, on the other hand, I will eat cabbage, and cabbage can taste really nice if it's done by someone else who knows how to cook. But ultimately, cabbage though, bubble and squeak, which is I think cabbage and mashed potato and maybe some other vegetables and stuff, but it's mainly cabbage and mashed potato. And then don't you just put some flour on it and fry it? It tastes amazing. So, yeah, cabbage and mashed potato. But then I think if you mix any vegetables with mashed potato, it can kind of taste okay. And also, if you mix, I like to mix tomato ketchup into mashed potato. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I do. I like that. So, no to Marmite, yes to Brussels sprouts. What's my overall favourite food? Favourite food. I like a roast dinner. I do. I like a nice roast dinner with a bit of everything. Roast potatoes, Yorkshire puddings, any kind of vegetable, even parsnips, and the stuffing, roast potatoes and mashed potatoes. Oh yes, bit of everything. Some gravy, some what's it? Cranberry sauce. Is it cranberry sauce or cranberry? That cranberry jelly thing. Yeah, that's kind of what I like. That'd probably be my ideal meal. Yeah, probably, because it's one of those foods, and I don't eat a huge amount of food, but it's something after eating that I would feel good. I'd feel a bit full up, but I would feel good. Even though I do like to have a fast food takeaway, not so much now, but in the past, I still enjoy it. I don't feel good afterwards though. Doesn't it's not a nice. I don't feel like, oh, that was lovely. It's more cumbersome, a little bit more. I like that word. It's more a bit full up, a bit stuffed. So yeah, I think a roast dinner would be my favourite like meal. So thanks for that. Dimitri asks me, I'm probably already a little late with my question, but after the successful launch of your musical career with your unforgettable Elton John's cover hit single, it's a long question, this is, isn't it? And the appearance of some of your videos in Spanish, are you planning to record any musical material in Spanish? No. No. And you win the award for the strangest question yet again. No, I will not be. No. I probably won't even be doing any more songs. That's just something that I do every now and then, just for fun. And if I'm in the mood, I might sing a song, but it's not a regular thing. It won't ever be a regular thing, I don't think, anymore. If this had been, if I was in my 20s right now and I had this technology, and by technology I just mean videos, being able to video stuff and record it. I mean, technically that was around back then, but I didn't have any of that stuff. And for me, it's more about being able to share stuff. Because when I made my recordings, what did I do? Do about 5 or 6 songs. Most of them were my own, back in the 90s. And no more than me and one other person probably actually ever heard the songs. But, sticking something on YouTube or on a podcast, I might get, 6 people listen. So it's a lot more people, that's all. Oh, my water bill's ready. That's nice. Brilliant. TikTok shop. Is TikTok back in America yet? Is it? Anyone? Is TikTok back? That is, I do believe, all the questions for today, for this week's Q&A Friday. I hope I've answered some of them. I want to see if TikTok's back. Where's TikTok? Have I got TikTok? I did post some of my videos on TikTok, but it doesn't seem to be my audience. Mr. Beast says that he's buying TikTok. I'm buying... Right.
Since we're all gonna die, there's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for the Godfather.
Okay, so that's just me. Stuff's coming up on my thing. I mean, look at my profile on here. It's not really, it's aimed at... Oh, I just want to look at my profile, but it want me to log in. It's logged me out. I can't be bothered. Unless I just put my name in. If I put my name in, what's my name again? Jason Jason Newland. Okay, so I got some videos. I got Jason chats, picture of me and Vinny playing around, just things like that. But yeah, it's not really much of a. Don't really. What have I don't know. Jason Newland. 42 followers. So yeah, it's not really a big place for me to reach an audience, I don't think. I put some videos, just some short videos, and then I put some. I think I've done a couple of long videos. How long is that one? It doesn't tell me. Oh yeah, 24 minutes. So some of the stuff can be on there, but it's been watched by I don't know how many people's watched it. Not many. About 14 or 40. So yeah, this is my Q&A Friday. A little bit of an interruption from Vinny, having to take him out, but that's okay. It happens, just the way it is. Now it's Haslett. He always knows. And the weird thing about it feels cold in here today. It feels cold. I don't know why. It didn't seem that cold outside when I went out there. Unless the heating's not come on. I don't know, let me see. No, the radios aren't on. So maybe it's because it's not that cold outside, the radiators haven't come on. Which means it's cold inside. It's a weird one. Right. I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Remember to be kind to yourself. Be gentle with yourself, because you do deserve to be happy and safe. Lots of love. Bye. Bye bye.